Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this political insight. This is Nation Focus TV and I am Eric. Today we want to discuss the most prominent politicians, that is Sifuna and Babu Owino. But the major question that we have to keep in mind, that we should be asking ourselves, or that should be crisscrossing into our mind, is Edwin Sifuna a man on a mission? It is only the time that will tell the credibility of this statement and the credibility of this question. I want us to understand how the wrangle started in ODM. You have to understand that Sifuna has been a vocal leader inside the ODM, and mostly we do understand that he is, or he was, the Secretary General of ODM. But what brought all these factions of Linda Mwananchi and Linda Ground? You have to understand that the Linda Mwananchi was started by only none other than Edwin Sifuna. But we should be asking ourselves these questions. What makes Edwin Sifuna to come up with Linda Mwananchi faction? I want us to start from somewhere so that we understand where we are heading to and what brought all this. As you can understand, time back when President Ruto's government was so much disturbed in such a way that it wasn't stable. What happened? Raila Amolo Odinga was called onto the table so that to assist President William Ruto to stabilize his government. There was a certain report that was written, that is NADCO, and Sifuna was present during the signing of the 10-point agenda that was to be implemented by President William Samoei Ruto. One of the things again that Ruto was to do was to make sure that the opposition party that was led by late Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga was to present some names in order to be given some position in the government. What happened is an history that you'll come to understand what really led to formation of Linda Mwananchi, which is led by Edwin Sifuna. The names were presented to William Ruto which was referred as an expert. So Raila Amolo Odinga was to give his expert in order to stabilize President Ruto's government. Ironically, what happened? Sifuna's name was not amongst the experts that were presented by the committee which was formed in ODM. Sifuna became mad and he could not speak to anybody in the party because his name was not amongst the experts. According to the source of information that was gathered thereafter, Sifuna had presented his name to Raila Amolo Odinga that he was to be given a seat of permanent secretary, that is internal security, or he had proposed that he be given the cabinet secretary of internal security. Ladies and gentlemen, this is how chaos started in ODM. Sifuna's name was not present amongst the experts that were given to President Ruto. Sifuna decided to punish Raila Amolo Odinga. And in fact, if you just follow, since the experts were presented to William Samoei Ruto until the names were read, if you're somebody who can read figurative language, that's the time Sifuna started a new plan to start his faction. And in fact, ladies and gentlemen, by the time Raila Amolo Odinga was still alive, Sifuna was not in a good relationship with the late Raila Amolo Odinga. But the major question that Kenyans should be asking themselves, is it must that you should be given a position is when you be a loyal member of a certain political party? That question remains with you, my viewers who are watching. But the question is Sifuna a man on a mission? Sifuna's interest is to make sure that ODM does not reach general election, that is in 2027. In fact, Sifuna is not interested in his position. And that's the reason why you can see whenever he's outside, he does not defend his position. But his talk of the day is always one term, President Ruto, with the slogan, Mimi Ndio Sifuna. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're wise enough Sifuna has not given Kenyans a proper direction in which way his political ambition is. He has not stipulated clearly if he is protecting his position, that is in senatorial part, or it does not given Kenyans a clear picture where he's heading to. But his mission has always been Ruto to be one term with all his cabinet secretary, including the ODM members. It is only time that will tell which direction is Mr. Sifuna heading towards to. You've been watching Nation Focus TV, and this is Political Insight. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. You can send us your views within the comment section. Until next time, see you. Bye.